up to? Harry Stronach, Akaroa Ratepayers and Residents Association. Good. Kia ora, welcome.
Hello. Good morning. The consultation document for the long-term plan was full of pictures of summer and smiling children and so on, in the way that long-term plans normally are. The reality is actually a little bit different. The general satisfaction survey that the council commissioned last year shows that in the previous 5 years, the general satisfaction with council performance has gone down from 74% to 50%. Now, that's a completely unsustainable trend for any organisation. If it continues like that for the next 5 years, you'll be down to about 30%. So what's the council going to do to improve its performance, especially the core activities, and earn the respect of the citizens that it represents? What is it about the long-term plan that's actually going to make a difference? I mean, I've read the long-term plan, I don't see the answer. What I see is perpetually rising rates and diminishing services, and a steadily increasing disconnect with the ratepayers. In our area, the Banks Peninsula and Akaroa, in the last 2 years, we've conducted our own surveys, and the satisfaction with council performance has gone down from 12% to 4%. We now have over 90% of our respondents saying that they're not satisfied with the council performance. The trend is exactly the same as in the city, but why is it that in Akaroa and the Peninsula we seem to be 3 or 4 times more likely to be dissatisfied? We believe that the underlying reason is that the council is unable to grasp the fact that the one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't fit. The Peninsula and Akaroa are fundamentally different places to the rest of the city. We have different attitudes, different aspirations, different ideas. If we're going to work together for a constructive future, then the council needs to put real meaning into the talk about strengthening communities. What we have at the moment is a widespread feeling that the council is remote, unapproachable and deaf. There's been repeated occasions where the council seems to ignore the results of the consultation process and just presses on to a predetermined outcome. That's led many people to think that these processes are just a complete waste of time. Now, that's very unfortunate. That's not the way things should be happening. This is leading to a progressive breakdown in the levels of trust and respect between the community and the ratepayers and the council. And that's a direct driver of those survey results I mentioned. Here's some key areas where the Peninsula people feel that the council is failing. The Akaroa Service Centre, and this will come up with other submitters, unilaterally deciding to downgrade it and then proposing to close it. Neglect the Peninsula roading. You could read the entire long-term plan and not realise that the council runs a 230 kilometre network of rural roads. We see the streets in the city being, flashed up every time we come to town, but we're not seeing that on the rural roads. They're going the other way. The Akaroa wastewater saga. Lack of any strategic planning for our area. There just isn't a long-term plan. The fallout from the cruise ship debacle. There's no cruise ships at the moment, but that wasn't the council's doing, and we need to have a plan and a permanent solution. The Akaroa freshwater crisis. In the long-term plan, it says that the projected increase in demand for freshwater in Akaroa is going to go up by less than 1% per annum for the next 30 years. I mean, that's ridiculous. The real number is more like 10%. People are going to Akaroa and they're living in those houses that were previously unoccupied. It's not about the expansion of the township, it's about the population density. If the council documents talk about climate change, it says somewhere there that Akaroa is especially vulnerable to increased drought risk. Well, it certainly is. Here we are in the middle of May, and for about 3 months there's been a ban on outdoor water use in Akaroa. That's no way to run a community. The existing water supply is simply not adequate, and the situation is going to become increasingly dire. Dry weather, more people, increased demand. The council is failing in a core responsibility of providing an adequate water supply. And this is an urgent and important matter. I mean, you need to be planning to double the capacity. So the council, you can't keep ignoring the fact that more and more ratepayers are dissatisfied with your performance. What the ratepayers and residents want is the efficient delivery of basic services. water and roading. What they do not want to see is the unnecessary gold plating, waste, inefficiency and frivolous projects. And that's me for the morning. Thank you.
Thank you. You've just summed that up in the time allocated, so I really appreciate you doing that, and thank you very much for your submission.
Thank you.